Hi guys, this is Breaker, and I'm back with another replay that I took from the StarCraft 2 subreddit known as Cast It. And in the words of the uploader, I just don't know who the uploader was, by the way. I wasn't paying attention to the names, which makes it even better a surprise. He says that this is the biggest comeback he has ever made in a tournament game. I'm not entirely sure what tournament it was. He said it was... Actually, you know what? He said it was from SCV Rush. I'm not entirely familiar with the SCV Rush tournament series, but anywho, let me go and give both players their introduction. Playing as our red Zerg in the lower left-hand corner, his name is Hynips. And he belongs to the DaTa clan. In the upper right-hand corner, spawning as our blue toss, his name is XP Ariuz. Yes. Ariuz? Ariuz. I'll just call him Ariuz from now on, guys. I don't mean to disrespect, but of course, I mean, it's not one of the most commonly seen names that I've ever run across in the game, but, you know. If you guys will just kindly take notice, I'm kind of using a different observer interface. You can just see that everything on the minimap is expanded, even more so than it would ordinarily be. But, yeah. I mean, that makes it easier to spot drops and so on and so forth. I'm not, you know, at least in my opinion it is. This is actually a bigger overlay than what we would ordinarily see from, I want to say, the default classic observer interface, which unfortunately I'm stuck using in some other tournaments. More specifically, I'm stuck using it with the Asia StarCraft League because of an XSplit overlay that I was given. Kind of leaves me just slightly disappointed, but yeah. Only slightly disappointed. It's not gonna kill me, guys. Anywho, probe coming down here, and it's gonna do some, I want to say, some rather standard stuff, you know, be it pylon blocking or expo blocking, but looks like we're not gonna see an expo block today. No, that second hatch goes down in a rather timely manner. The probe just coming in here, making sure that the spawning pool is actually going to go down and get finished, and it looks like he will see that and kind of just back off for now. The question is, what are we going to see from Hynips in the near future? Are we going to see him cranking out units on 2 bases, or are we going to see him go straight for a third? I don't know. Let's just wait and find out, huh? Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Upgrades. That's kind of silly. Yeah. Considering we don't have anything that builds, you know, there's no Roachhorn. Why on earth would the upgrades tab have anything in it? This is absolutely a little dumbfounding to say the very least, and it looks like it did hit a bit of a lag spike, so I apologize, guys. Probe's just going to wait over here for now, for the time being, and just see what's up. Meanwhile, it seems that the opener that we had XP Ariuz going with was basically optimized for macro. Gateway already finished here. Cybernetics core as well. We see gas going down as well. I'm a little confused as to why there's just a single gas. Typically what I see most Protoss players trying to do is get a double gas before they take their expo, and then what they'll do is they kind of make a forward SimCity with 2, maybe 3 gateways. And with that, they'll eventually... That's what I'm looking for. They'll use the gateways to put down some forward pressure. And maybe follow it up with the Stargate, but yeah, that's ultra far into the game. I do want to highlight for a moment that we have 6 lings that Hynips is not putting to use just yet. Checking the current APM for both players, you know, I mean, they're kind of jerking it around quite a bit, and they're both neck and neck with their APM, really. But, you know, I mean, what else is there to really narrate about the game? Alright, so these lings are going to arrive here and see if there's a Mothership core ready to hold, along with the Zealot. Now these lings, what are they going to do? Are they going to try and go in? Looks like they're going to try, but it's pylon blocking the way, and the lings don't get a single kill. It looks like, unfortunately, they're going to get thrown away with only a single probe kill. Hynips just like, lol. There's a smiley from Ariuz. One thing that I love about some games without so much dialogue is the very fact that they allow me to concentrate more on what's going on in game and cast just a little bit better. Pneumatic carapace being researched, metabolic boost will also be finished in the near future, but wait a minute. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Alright. Okay, everything's smooth, everything is just fine. I thought I read into something incorrectly, that's why I said wait a minute there just a second ago, and the third is not down yet. This is rather dumbfounding to me. Is there something I missed in the production in the background? You know, I mean, we see a lot more links coming out. I'm not entirely sure just how Hynips quite read into that. What exactly he's doing behind all of this. Oh, yes, it's the, appears it's the Overlord. Okay. Well, he knows that. Okay, I see what he. Yeah, it's also because of the links that he sent out earlier. He saw that there was basically kind of a 3-gate forward pressure going down, and he's not going to be able to get that third down just yet. He knows that there's going to be a lot of forward pressure coming in the near future. Where are the lings is the real question. Looks like they're going for a surround back here on that pylon. If that pylon finishes, then we're going to see a poop ton of zealots have the chance to get warped in. It will not, but now this basically leaves the links to deal with the zealots that are here, which are causing a bit more trouble. And of course, there's another pylon over here, allowing for another warp in. And at the same time, Hynips is forced to basically cancel his third. Drone gets taken down. Yes, no respect for Zerg today. No love at all either. And basically, what we see Protoss doing here is parking and preventing an expo while getting his own macro up simultaneously. Presently, the worker count is 30 to 39, so we actually see that Zerg is not, while he's not in an entirely favorable position, it's also not the worst of positions. Continue to crank out more zealots. If he loses any drones here, that would actually be quite bad for our Zerg player. Looks like Mama Ship Core is going to go toe-to-toe with a Queen. And with that, you see the Queen driving it away slowly but surely. More zealots continue to warp in over here, and the most scary thing about this, I feel, in terms of ZVP, is that the reality is our Protoss opponent here is just throwing away minerals. That's it. Alright, so and we see the pressures just kind of continue to be tacked on. As long as there are zealots out, as long as there's a pylon out, we're gonna see Zerg basically in a position where he's forced to crank out. He knows that something's up behind this. Hynips, obviously. Anyone at this level of play, high diamond, low masters or even mid masters, excuse me, any even high platinum players, they can tell that as long as there are nothing but zealots being thrown at them, that's nothing but minerals being thrown at them, essentially. And behind this, the follow-up we have is Aspire. We've already seen that there are Phoenixes in production. Yes, that is not incorrect. So that isn't by all means correct, but at the same time, we're going to see that the third year is going to take an attack, and the question is it going to be forced to cancel? The answer is yes. Queen's trying to kite some zealots, not going to quite work out. But I mean, Queens versus Lings, come on, it's a no-brainer. The Lings are going to lose. It's going to be Queens. Did I really just say Queens versus Lings? It says +1 strong. Yeah, +1 zealots. YY, I think he meant to say TT or something like that, but more Phoenixes getting cranked out. This is going to help him gear up for the later game. And as long as these zealots are here basically balling up like this, we're going to see him in a relatively somewhat indestructible position. But look at the positioning here. That is kind of good. It's actually working quite well in favor of Queens. The Queens are going to now, they're sniping what they can, and it looks like the Spinecrawler, this Queen, and the Lings will be able to handle the trouble at the natural with very, very minimal losses. But now there's actually 2 zealots here, and will the Spinecrawler live? It looks like it will, just barely. But at the price of 2 Queens, we now see Hynips in a very, very rough position. Excuse me, excuse me, I promise you that was not my smoker's cough. I haven't smoked in 48 hours now, thanks to incredible willpower. But that cough did come from me inhaling a little bit too much saliva and trying to analyze the game, the play-by-play as the game goes on. And Hynips, here we go. Zealot's being targeted down. He's got pneumatic carapace, so that's going to work in his favor just a little bit. But the one thing that I disagree with entirely that we see from Hynips is that he is making Mutalisks. Hydras are a good solution to both Phoenixes and Zealots, at least in low numbers they are. And now it just seems like we have, oh boy, Hynips in an increasingly worse position. Just look at what the, this is not the position you want to be in as a Zerg player. Definitely far from it. He's already losing. I mean, just look at the position that he's in. And behind this, we actually see that Ariuz is getting extremely far ahead in terms of tech up. That would be, like, come on. We're waiting for the third hatch to go down now for our Zerg. And interestingly enough, it seems like in all of that, Ariuz chose to recall. And there's a 50 shields, 1 HP Zealot here, and that's about it. It looks like we finally have Ariuz trying to go for the pylon kill here. He will get it, and he will finally be able to put down his third. Obviously, I think this game is going to stretch out for a long time. Ariuz now, his third is about to finish up. Meanwhile, we just have the third for Hynips finishing up. And I'm a little curious as how is he going to follow this up? Is he going to throw it on a fourth right here immediately? Perhaps right here instead? Those are the immediate ways of coming back in the game. Just getting the double macro and so on and so forth. But interestingly enough, it seems that the Spire is already researching +2 attacks, and the Phoenixes are coming back for another round at Hynips' base. And if we just look at the resources lost, it is nowhere near in favor of Hynips. Look at this. And the Phoenix is just putting salt in the wounds of them. Probably actually more like harassing the deal. Not really harassing, but more like BME. He's like, okay, I know I'm so far ahead, I can just burn energy on these Phoenixes and still win this game. Which, at this present stage that we are looking at, I'm willing to say is more than a true assumption. More than a true statement. That is the Great Pylon Wall of Ire. Yes, because the Great Spine Crawler Wall of China is taken by Zergs. But, finally we see, basically this third for Hynips is getting swollen, if you will, in terms of worker count. Behind this we see that the Infestation Pit is going down, as well as +2. +2 has been in the mix for a while now. There's more Stargates getting tacked on, for Ariuz. This actually has me a little bit curious. The Lings just tried to poke away at the third just a moment ago. It didn't quite work in their favor. Lots of sentryed force fields here. Lots of force fields on those sentries here is actually what I wanted to say. And it looks like there was a Muta run by the natural. I did just miss. Sorry about that, guys. That was just a lot of action there. 9 kills by Hynips. Small victory in the ashes of defeats. At least in the ashes of what it appeared to be almost non-stop defeat. This cannon, beautiful position on it. It can reach just about anything that goes into the mineral line, if not aggro it into attacking it. Okay, and now it looks like the third is oversaturated for Hynips. That means it's ideally the time to throw down the fourth base, and now we have Phoenix range upgrades going down. So behind this, we have to see that Hynips is going for, a master plan behind this. Like, he's going to throw away his Mutalisks, and then what? Because he knows that he's not doing extensive harassment because he knows he's going to lose these Mutas, and no doubt he's going to lose them now, especially that these Phoenixes are flying directly into them. Few Phoenixes get shot down at the same time. Oh man, and the Phoenixes actually outrange the Mutas, so it's completely beyond me why we don't see better control by Ariuz. What exactly is he trying to do? He's not at 200-200, he's got no reason to absolutely throw away these Phoenixes. He's continuing to crank out 2 at a time, and he's getting storms as well, so I'm a little, I'm just absolutely oblivious as to what he's trying to do. But finally, this seems to be, the ultimate decision by Hynips. He's going for the Ultralisk Cavern. I can't say if he's going for a... what's the word I'm looking for? Greater Spire. Yeah, he's not going for that because, of course, with the amount of time that the Hive has been done and the fact that we just see an ordinary Spire here, I don't think that's going to happen. And finally, we see Hynips going for a third, putting the drones on the extractors and so on and so forth. I must say, I was actually kind of dumbfounded when I found out that there was a Muta run by going out over here. Because, of course, at the time, there were already Phoenixes. Phoenixes versus Mutas? Well, Protoss OP, GG. But that doesn't mean he can't use them even now to try and harass. I would even say it's even worth his time now to go ahead and throw them away since he's getting Ultras into the composition. Phoenixes being virtually useless versus Um, versus Ultras, they can't lift them up, they can't do anything. They have no way of doing any damage to them, but hold your horses, Jethro. Oh my god, the Baneling connections are relatively good. The surrounds by the Lings are also getting good as well, and we have 5 ultras that are about to come out and pop. So this actually seems to be a case of Ariuz making the wrong choice in terms of unit composition. Did he have a Robobait? He just had one finish up. I just saw that just now. And he's got nothing that has a buff versus armored units. I'm sorry, he's got a third one right now. He's okay, now he's getting an Observer for some reason. Not quite sure what that's about. Why would he need an Observer besides to kill creep? You should already know that by the upgrades, just what kind of tech we're going to be seeing from Hynips. Basically, plus one ground melee. That signals Mutalisks, or not Mutalisks. That signals Lings. That signals Ultras of all things. And speaking of Lings, they're getting 6 surrounds on all of these Stalkers, and I just cannot believe, just how much of a turnaround this game is. It's all simple when you look into the unit composition, when you look into what's being produced, when you look at what you have and what your opponent doesn't. I thought May for just one moment, he has 2 robotic trees. Why in the ever-loving hell is he not making a single immortal? Finally, the Stalkers are warping in, but they're taking damage so much that they're barely getting out a few shots, since this Ultra's pretty strong. And it says GG. That we see him leave the game, and Hynips is victorious. Congratulations, Hynips, on your biggest comeback in history. There were some parts in this game when I was almost convinced that you're gonna lose. I mean, that was just my perspective, but I got to give it to you, man. I mean, this guy he was good on the early game aggression. By that I mean Ariuz, but at the same time he just didn't put 2 and 2 together. The thing is, you have to have a way to damage Lings. You have to have a way to deal with the late game compositions as well. And it just seems like Ariuz didn't really have that completely and thoroughly metagamed out. I mean, if he had Void Rays with prismatic alignment, he would have had a way to make these Ultralisks absolutely melt. And if he just had a simple handful of Phoenixes, that would have been okay. But I mean, he had, with a Stargate and a Robobait, there's almost no excuse for, the performance that we see from Ariuz. He could have made so many units that had bolt buffs versus armored units. Ultras being the ultimate significance of that. Anywho, this has been Breaker. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. I apologize for missing the harass. See you guys next time.